The room stank of rotting meat and copper as Father Damien stepped inside. 12-year-old Regan McNeil levitated above her bed, her nightgown stained with blood and bile. Her head spun like an owl's, a full 360 degrees, bones cracking with each rotation. "Do you know what she did, your cunting daughter?" The voice that came from Regan's mouth was guttural, ancient. The demon slammed her against the wall with invisible force, then dragged her down the hallway by her hair, leaving a slick trail of urine and black vomit. Father Marin arrived as Regan's stomach distended, bulging like something was trying to claw its way out. The crucifix seared her skin where it touched, the burns spelling, "Help me," in blisters. The bed began to pound against the wall on its own. Boom, 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 as Regan's body bent into impossible contortions. Then, in a voice that wasn't hers, wasn't human, she hissed, "You will die up there. She will watch." Just as the priest began the rite, Regan's eyes turned completely black, and the room screamed. And finally, a shadow of something enormous peeling itself off the wall, just before the lights exploded. The doll arrived in a battered wooden crate, its porcelain face still eerily pristine after decades in my grandmother's attic. "She was your mother's favorite," the lawyer said. That first night, I heard it, a whisper like rustling silk from the shelf where I'd placed it. Mia. By week's end, the cuts appeared. Thin, precise slices along my arms that stung like paper cuts. I stared at the doll. Its once smooth cheeks now bore identical marks. When I touched its face, the porcelain felt warm, alive. The transformation begins. Mirrors became my enemy. My reflection would blink just out of sync. Then one morning, I woke to find the doll's lips slightly fuller, like mine after filler. Its brown eyes now had my green flecks. The changes accelerated. My moles appeared on its neck, my scar from childhood surfacing on its knee. I tried locking it in a trunk. Bad idea. That night, something cold and small crawled into bed with me. I woke to the doll nestled against my chest, its newly grown hair, my hair, tangled around my fingers. The fire that wouldn't burn. Desperate, I doused it in lighter fluid and struck a match. The flames danced, but didn't touch the doll. Instead, they curved away, as if repelled. The doll's head turned 180 degrees. It's now fully formed, my face smiling. The whisper came from inside my skull. Time to switch places. Now the nurses at Willowbrook Psychiatric all compliment my lifelike doll. They don't notice how her chest rises with breath, how she watches them with cunning eyes, how sometimes, when they turn their backs, her fingers twitch toward the keys on their belts. And when the moon is high, if you press your ear to the dollhouse in room 13B, you'll hear me screaming. Journalist Brian Bethel's car idled at a Texas intersection when two boys tapped on his window. "We need a ride home," they pleaded. His blood turned to ice when the streetlight revealed their eyes, solid black, like polished obsidian. The rules. They must be invited in. They speak in monotone, repeating phrases. "You seem nice, we just want to come inside." Animals go berserk. Dogs whimper and hide. Cats hiss, fur on end. The victims. A Kansas woman let two lost girls use her phone. They left no footprints in the snow. That night, she woke to them standing over her bed. We forgot something. She moved out after finding her mirrors cracked from the inside. An Uber driver who gave a ride to a teenager reported his skin peeling off in strips within 72 hours. His last Facebook post, "They're in the vents now." The theories. Demons needing human invitation to cross thresholds. Extraterrestrial hybrids gathering genetic material. Something older. Reports date back to 18th century Ireland, where witnesses described the fairy folk come to collect their tithe. Final warning. Next time you hear knocking after midnight, don't ask who it is, because if the answer is, "We're just children," in a voice too flat, too wrong, you've already made the worst mistake of your life. It started in a small town in Texas. A bio-research facility had a containment breach. A genetically engineered virus meant to enhance soldiers' endurance mutated and turned its test subjects into ravenous, flesh-craving monsters. The infected didn't stay dead. They came back. Patient zero bit a nurse. She bit a cop, the cop bit his partner. Within 72 hours, the town was overrun. Phase 1. Collapse. The U.S. government tried to contain it. Quarantines, airstrikes, martial law. But the virus spread faster than anyone anticipated. Cities fell like dominoes. Houston was the first major city to go dark. Swarms of infected flooded the streets, overwhelming National Guard blockades. Los Angeles descended into chaos as panicked riots turned into feeding frenzies. New York City became a death trap. Subway tunnels filled with the undead. Skyscrapers turned into tombs. The military collapsed as soldiers deserted to protect their families. The president was evacuated to an undisclosed bunker, but rumors spread that he was already bitten. Phase 2. Survival. The Remnant, a rogue military unit holding out in fortified bases, executing shoot-on-sight orders for anyone infected. The Scavengers, raiders who looted towns, killing both the living and the dead for supplies. The Faithful, a doomsday cult that believed the zombies were God's punishment, offering human sacrifices to appease the hunger. In the Midwest, a group of civilians fortified a shopping mall, only to be overrun when one hidden bite turned a survivor. Phase 3. The Last Stand. The final hope lay in a CDC scientist who claimed to have a cure, but she was trapped in Atlanta, now a zombie stronghold. A team of mercenaries, ex-soldiers, and desperate civilians fought their way in, only to discover the cure just slowed the infection. As the horde closed in, the survivors made their last stand at an abandoned military base. With dwindling ammo and no escape, they triggered a nuclear warhead, erasing the city and themselves in a final blaze of defiance. Epilogue. A dead world. Months later, the broadcast stopped. The zombies, with no more living to eat, began to rot. America was a graveyard, but in the distance, a single gunshot echoed. Someone was still alive. The end?